Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Belle again. So today, we're going to talk about Trump versus the Republican Congress. Budget Edition. The Republican Budget Reconciliation Plan is still, it's concepts of a plan. And a lot of those concepts are starting to cause divisions within the Republican Party. The divides exist between the House and Trump, the House and the Senate, and the House and, the House. I know that when a lot of people hear the word budget, their eyes just kind of go vacant and they lose interest. But here's the thing. This is the Trump agenda. This is the actual legislation that will enact Trump's policies. Using a budget process to do it and focusing on the money rather than the real-world implications is how politicians can slide stuff under the radar. Cutting Medicaid? It's in this. Tax cuts for the rich? In this. Derailing climate efforts? It's in this. Trumpian defense spending? Yep, it's in this. Defunding X or Y? It's in this. It's all one package. Or as Trump called it, one big beautiful bill. This is the most consequential legislation this year. Luckily, the Republicans can't stop arguing with themselves. It's worth remembering that initial plans were to have this done within the first 100 days. It's not even written yet. So, what are some of the main holdups? Well, the biggest block to Republicans enacting Trump's agenda is Trump. He keeps making public statements about how this or that won't be cut. For Congress to get to the numbers they need to keep the $4.6 trillion in tax cuts, primarily benefiting the wealthy, they have to make budget cuts. Imagine looking for cuts and then hearing that Trump said he wanted more spending for the Pentagon. But beyond Trump being Trump, Congress has its own issues. First is that the House wants to cut $1 trillion or more. The Senate set a minimum cut of $4 billion. That's a pretty big gap to cross. The senators who have to run statewide don't want to be responsible for cuts that hurt their constituents. Since the House seems unwilling to go after much beyond social safety nets, that puts the Senate in a bind. But even without that, other issues are popping up as potential deal killers. A while back, we talked about some Republicans getting salty. The SALT deduction, which lets people deduct state and local taxes. That's still going on. Most Republicans don't want a bigger SALT deduction. But without the votes of the representatives in the House who want it, the bill can't move forward. So, the salty Republicans can effectively kill the one big beautiful bill. Then you have Trump's tax cuts. Some Republicans are trying to find a way to lessen the scale of his cuts because the government desperately needs the revenue. That'll especially be true if Trump sends us into recession. The House wants $100 billion more for defense. The Senate wants $150 billion more. This is additional money outside of the normal appropriations. It's causing some tension. The GOP in the House in particular sees cleaner energy initiatives as a good place to make cuts because they've already convinced most of their base to demand to pay more for obsolete dirty energy. However, those in competitive districts and the senators know that Biden's Inflation Reduction Act clean energy initiatives benefit red areas the most, and cutting those might upset their voters. There might be enough votes in the House concerned about this to tank the bill. There is definitely enough in the Senate. Then you have the whole Medicaid cuts we've talked about at length. They have a lot of roadblocks in the way, and Speaker of the House Mike Johnson said he wants to have all of this ironed out by Memorial Day. Lurking in the corner is the bond market. If the GOP budget expands the debt too much, there will be a reaction in the bond market that could tank the whole thing. It's going to be a stressful month in Congress. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.